That is my favorite countdown clock.
That's good.
I just love that music. It's like it's how the inside of my head feels most of the time.
Really. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
It sounds very. It's like an 8-bit version of I don't know, Capture Leroy Brown or whatever the hell
What?
Capture,
Capture
Capture Leroy
Leroy
Brown.
Brown, everybody. And
It's a trap.
ponies are baby horses. What was
What's
this
funny
one?
is nobody knows
Oh,
that.
Chris Mandra, this man right here, doesn't know how to play solitaire. There's something I learned that was new about you this morning. I learned
How
that.
did you knew that? You knew that.
No, I had no
I think
idea. I
you.
mean, maybe I did, and I forgot that I knew that. But
I think you. I
that
think
how
that's
do you
actually
how
the
do
case.
you work? Like, how do you exist around computers and be as old as you're about as old as you can be, right? And have worked on tech all your life, right?
Well, I mean, whenever solitaire came up, I was like, "Well, that looks stupid." I don't know.
Did you not have like playing cards before the computer age?
We didn't have what we.
We didn't have playing
I had
cards.
index cards, so
Did you make
I
your
had
own
index
playing
cards, and I
cards?
would have to make my own playing cards. But it was all from being told about them, right? So I had no idea what playing cards were really like. So people were like, "Oh, they've got like pictures of kings and queens." So I'd have
Are
like,
you lying right now?
yeah, of course I'm lying right now.
Okay, all right, okay. I just had to make sure because you were really like selling it. I could totally believe this about you. I
No,
just
and it
thought
was
like
like so.
random kings and queens.
So I just thought I don't know. It was just like I had a bunch of kings and queens and stuff, and it was like and so it was like two kings weren't the same. So it was like if it was Henry VIII versus I don't know King Fod or something. One of them would be greater.
Robert the Bruce, King of the Scots in the 1300s.
Arthur, King of the Britons. Yeah. Oh shit! I pulled my thing out.
Oh, your thing. Which
It's
thing? Is
making
that
all
the
sorts of nice
microphone?
noise too. I'm sure I can't. What?
Is that the microphone?
Yeah, it's
It's.
detachable.
I don't think it's working right now.
You don't think the mic is working right now?
No, I think it's coming through your laptop.
Hold on. How about now?
I don't
No?
think so.
Is
You
it
have to
far
keep
enough?
talking when you do that.
Hang on, hang on. Hang on, ma'am. Hold on.
No, maybe it is.
No, it's working.
Yeah,
Well,
now it's
hold on.
working.
Is it no longer working?
Oh,
There we go.
whoa. That worked. Yeah, that worked.
It took a moment.
It just occurred to me that maybe 4th of July morning is not going to be the most crazy time for
I mean, are you
audience
watching
members.
it on YouTube right now?
No, I am not. So there is actually one person watching on
That's
YouTube,
nice.
and I
I mean,
have
I'm
no idea
watching it.
what. Are you looking at it? I'll get it on Twitch. I want as many people to be here as possible because I'm going to. Oh, people are freaking out. I'm going to show my world famous cow butts pictures.
What are your world famous cowbutts pictures?
Sir Moose-a-Lot.
I do not know Sir Moose-a-Lot. What are you talking about?
Well, I'll give you a. I'll give you a little. First of all, I need to stop the banner from ticking. I can't do that.
Sir Moose-a-Lot.
Hold on. Oh man, yeah, I gotta edit. Do not scroll across the bottom. Thank you very much. Excuse me. Save. And now a non-scrolling ticker. Okay. Yes, Sir Moose-a-Lot. Okay, ready? Let's see. These are world famous. And they start with
World.
this. Are you looking at it or not? Because you're not responding at all.
Hold on. Something happened.
I heard your
Oh my
Discord
God.
go.
Oh, I have seen that.
Oh
I thought that was
my
you.
God,
I,
Becky.
for some reason,
look
thought you were posting
at
it
her
in Discord.
butt. What? Oh, no.
Yeah.
What's happening in your Discord? Wait, you need to respond to what I just put up. You can't.
Wait, those aren't cow butts.
No, it's not. The cow is not an adjective here. It doesn't describe the noun butt. It is cow dash butt.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Well, okay. Or is it, well, cow dash? I don't know. This is getting very confusing. But here, look. I'm looking around the corner at them.
I can't seem to look around.
Do I look shocked?
What's weird is that I had to lean the opposite way than I expected
because it's not mirrored.
Because it's not mirrored. It's so confusing every single time.
Are there other cow butts? Did you take these pictures of the cows?
I sure did. I made these pictures. These are my cow butt pictures, world famous.
That's funny.
Cow butt pictures. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's hard to see because of the banner.
Note the correct use of the apostrophe with the plural.
One of those rap guys' girlfriends.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wonder if anybody who doesn't know the song thinks this is crazy.
It's just so round. It's like out there. I mean, gross. This is a really good one. 36, 24, 36. Ha! Only if she's 5'3". You can do side bends or sit-ups, but please don't lose that butt.
Did you ever see him doing it?
Andrew Seabrook, NPR News.
Buttville. Buttville at the crack of dawn.
Yeah. What did you say? Did I ever see what?
Have you seen the video of him doing it with an orchestra?
No.
Hang on.
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, huh? This is probably my favorite one. Look at that. Look at how beautiful his picture is.
It's from 1992.
Right, hold on. Hold on.
Why?
No lo vas a quitar, ¿verdad? Sorry.
What happened?
I don't want the guy to take away my chayote bush. It's growing on. Hold on.
Why is he trying to take away your chayote bush?
Well, it's his.
You got a chayote
no
bush.
se lo vas a quitar, ¿verdad? Lo va a dejar, ¿verdad? En el portón. Digo, el chayote. No, okay. Es que yo sé que es de usted, es que no es mío, pero me encanta. Gracias, amor, muy amable. Yes.
Here, how do I get you to get rid of your thing?
I said, I know that chayote vine that is growing on my driveway, gate is yours and not mine. But I really like it, and I don't want you to take it away. Hold on, we're not done yet.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah? When a girl walks in with an itty-bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get
sprung.
Thank you. Yeah. I think that is the end of the series of cow butt pictures. Right there. So you are trying to play a video, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
So what's happening?
Only if she's 5'3". Let's see.
Right, can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Let's see if you can hear it.
We're going to try a little something you
Can you hear that?
Yeah,
may have never heard before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and this genius back here. By the way, this man is the shiznit. Trust me.
Who's he talking about?
Go ahead.
He's like the conductor. He's like, everybody, I'm the shiznit. Okay.
I guess, yeah, it's the first time he's ever been called the shiznit.
Who is this person?
What person?
Here, let's bring it back a little. Just watch this
Go
woman.
ahead.
She's getting very into it.
I hope we don't get flagged. No, this is from DJ Nelson
What?
or something.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. When a girl walks in with it,
I mean, I gotta say, the orchestral remix does sound great.
Hold on.
thing in your face, you get strong. Wanna pull up, drop it,
I'm
you
trying to find
know,
the picture.
deep in the jeans she's wearing. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring. Oh, baby, I wanna get picture
And take your picture.
My homeboys tried to warn me, but that butt you got me. Ooh,
See, he never says that line. He never says that himself. He doesn't
Oh, he
like to
gets
say this.
sprung?
No, it makes me so horny. He doesn't say that line himself.
Well, that's because they're using a 2 Live Crew sample in the actual song.
Is that from Two Live Crew?
I think so, yeah.
Me. It sounds like a girl though.
It is. It's a woman. It's a woman saying, "Me so horny." Yeah.
I guess every time I've thought about Two Live Crew, I've thought in my mind of Boys to Men. So I didn't expect it to be female.
Were you just blowing out smoke? Because it looked like you did a spit take.
No, wait.
Oh, nobody
I
can
looked-
see that. I can see that.
Nobody can. You can see me?
Well, I can see you. I can see you at the bottom of the screen. Yeah.
Oh, I can't because I'm on my telephono.
You're smoking, right?
Me? I don't smoke.
Okay. Here we go.
my bins, where use me, cause you ain't that average groovy. I seen her dancing, to hell with romantic, she's sweating. And I'm tired of magazines, are the thing.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. I guess we should talk over it so that I don't know. I mean, it's a copyright strike. Just means it's not like they take it down. It's just that you can't monetize it, right? That's what.
No, they do make it. I think they make it unfindable. It really sucks.
Well, I mean, how do all these other places put up stuff?
They don't get copyright strike.
Like, I don't think DJ Nelson, owns this. Maybe he does.
I think probably the people who own this is the orchestra, and they are not monitoring.
Right. Yeah.
Silicone parts are made for toys. I want them real big and juicy. So find that juicy double.
Double.
It's a lot's in trouble, begging for a piece of that bubble. So I'm looking at rock videos.
Whoa. Did you do that? Hose.
I want to fix those that I want to get rich. I want to hit ya, but I gotta be straight when I say I want to feel the break of song. And going on, I want to sing like this song, and it's just like the hit with it. And I'd rather stay play. But I'm long, and I'm strong, and I'm coming to.
You're doing that, right? You slowed
Yes.
it down?
I'm totally doing it.
Okay.
I thought it was cool as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Lady, you want to roll down my city? Turn around, stick it out. The whole room got the shout. Baby got that.
Now it's drum and bass.
24-36 means nothing to me at all. Only if she's 5'3". You know what I mean?
See that? See how
Hey, no Ben goes
correct
behind.
it is?
Play workout takes my Fonda, but Fonda ain't got a motor in the back of her. Sing that song.
Don't got none unless you got funds,
You
hon.
side bends or sit up, but please don't lose
But
that
please
butt.
don't lose that butt.
Sometimes when I play that hard, so can't tell you that the butt ain't low, so they toss it and leave it, and I pull up quick to retrieve it. So Cosmo says you're fat. Well, I ain't down with that. Like you waste this hard and the curves are kicking it. And I'm thinking about sticking to the B-roll names in the magazines. You ain't making this thing. Give me a sister, I got your sister. You're king that brought it next up. Some never had tried to diss. But there's girls that all want this. He had game, but he chose to hit him. And I pull up quick to get with him. So ladies, if the butt is round, and you want a triple X slow down, stop. Oh, baby, got that. Oh my God, I love doing this.
What is somebody playing like an oboe back there? Oh,
We got
it
cello
is
players
the-
with sunglasses on.
You're like, is somebody playing with an oboe back there?
I said playing an oboe. Okay. Now I have to do the mandatory next thing whenever you
The
talk
joke's
about
on
the
you.
song.
It's a cor anglais.
So when I was in college, and I worked at WBCI 91.5 FM, Richmond's only listener-supported public radio, coming to you live from Earlham College. We got this. So it must have been like 94, 93, 99, something like that. We got in a CD that was all remixes of Baby Got Back. It was
Really?
every single song, yeah, the whole CD. And Josh and I listened to my best friend, and I listened to this incessantly, of course. And our favorite one was it was like really kind of industrial, kind of like Ministry, and
Okay.
it went like this. How does the song start again?
What, Baby Got Back?
Yeah.
No,
No, the words.
Oh, I have no idea how it
I
starts.
like big. That's right. So the song went like this. So it was like, dun, 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 dun. I like big butts and I cannot lie. Big butts and I cannot lie. Big butts and I cannot. Butts and I cannot. Butts. It's awesome. That's the whole story.
It's almost like granular synthesis,
What do you mean?
where you're taking a sample and you're making it shorter,
Yeah.
like you're playing from different places.
Yeah.
Whoa, what just happened there?
You fell off my stand,
Did
or I fell off
did your
your stand.
non-smoking cigarette knock it out of your hand or something? Uh-oh. Well, we're waiting for Andrew to come back. I'm going to talk about a group that I think is really interesting called the Kleptones. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Kleptones, but what's interesting about this is that this is probably from 15 years ago, at least.
Oopsie. Sorry.
It's 2000, almost 20 years ago. So I'm talking about the Kleptones, the Night at the Hip Opera.
How did we get from butts to the Kleptones?
Because
Kleptones?
I was thinking about you were talking about remixes, and I was thinking about mashups. And you've heard this, right? Like, this is actually a favorite thing of mine. So the Kleptones do mashups of things, and this is a mashup.
All I can think of is the Night at the Concords, who have that song about the hip hopopotamus.
Right. So this is a mashup of Queen's music and raps, and it's really fantastic.
This is a mashup of Queen's music and raps.
Like, let's see this. Let's see what this is. Like, and what's funny is I had never heard this rap we're about to hear on top of this. I had never heard it before, and it's actually very slow and sedate in real life, but it's amazing here. Well, this is Queen's music in the background with a rap.
We believe in maximum effect in absolutely every single facet of the gym, including life. I'm committed to the pursuit of truth, which has been undoing smooth over. Ain't soothing to those who have been doing the polluting. In fact, we wrote some raps. Now I have here in my chest an outline, a list, a platform, manifesto, a mandate from intro to outro. It's absolutely right, solid from the bottom to the top, and the top to the bottom. Here's our outlook and how it reads.
Who's rapping here?
Believe in other people, believe in the ideas that our cerebrals cultivate and create. But if it's still enough, that's a calculated mistake. A combination infinite.
Who's rapping?
Digit code you can't break.
I think it's a group called the Herbalizer. This whole thing is just awesome. It's like, so that song in the background is the Queen song, I'm Going Slightly Mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going slightly mad, right? And like, and it's just, I don't know.
Unconditional control, not under supervision of another overlay. So what that means is our beliefs are out of reach, I'll be balanced, I believe without restriction, limitation, or revoke. Point 3. We don't believe in you controlling.
I think it's boring.
I'm not obligated to listen to shit you tell it.
Do you think it's boring? Or you're just being a
I
jerk.
totally think it's boring because
Why do you
I
think it's boring?
Because I am neither obsessed with Queen nor interested in this rap.
Well,
And remember, you can say anything to someone you've already divorced.
that's true. What's this one called? Jerk.
Song is good. Singing brings joy and revitalizes
I
the
really am
soul.
bored.
I
I'm
think
so
that
bored
song
already.
is the highest achievement of the Lilum culture. Don't you agree?
This is the
Wait,
whitest
wait,
thing
wait,
I've
wait.
ever
Now,
heard.
hold on in there just a second. You
Stop
don't
it.
even know what's
What's wrong? Was this bothering you?
That was that tone. You got the tone.
Stop it!
You got the tone that's like,
Were you about to
What's
eject
wrong?
me?
you're acting like a toddler.
Jesus. Anyway, the Cliptones and Night of the Hip Opera. It's pretty fucking cool. I'm a big
I
fan.
still like hip hopopotamus better.
Of course you do.
Of course you do. Hi, Professor Brainy Smacks. I guess I could sit up a little bit.
Remember what you told me?
There's something in my teeth.
We should talk to each other.
What?
We should talk more to each other.
What are you trying to insinuate? I do not know what you're doing.
I'm reminding you of what you told me yesterday.
That
Without
we-
actually saying what you said yesterday.
Ugh, there's-
I'd rather. What is that? There's like a Flintstones character that looks kind of like
you just noticing
Uncle-
Dino?
Uncle Fester, who's like
What'd you say about Uncle Fester?
it's
Sorry,
like a
my alarm went
Flintstones
off.
character that looks like he's got a, what is it? Is it Uncle Fester, the guy with the hair? Cousin It? No. Yeah.
No, well, yeah, cousin it in real life, but I think you want to be thinking of the one that hangs out with the Martian.
I don't know.
You know when he shaves him on Looney Tunes and he completely disappears.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Marvin the Martian and that big kind of square thing with legs that's all hair. You are not paying attention to me.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to find an example of the thing that I'm thinking about.
You're thinking of a cousin it.
No, it's a character on the Flintstones.
Oh.
That's why I searched for Flintstones counting it. It's like this thing that what the hell?
I think I know who it is. And
Who
I
is
think
it?
he's I think his name is Gossamer.
Really?
I know. That sounds unlikely, but
That's not dinosaur related.
no, it's not. That's why I think you're thinking something else.
Let me look at the Flintstones characters.
Hold on, I will mother fracking frick.
They're modern Stona family.
Did we figure out that I can't share my screen
Wait, is that
from
true?
StreamYard on my phone?
I don't know.
Yes, we did figure that out. Yes, we did. Okay, so that means that I'm gonna instead oh my god,
It's like it's an exhaustive list of Flintstones characters without any pictures.
What is?
There's an exhaustive list of Flintstones characters without any pictures.
Oh, that's not
Jesus,
nice.
that is not useful. All right.
I will produce results, Christopher.
Well, while we're waiting, has anyone seen what early Genesis looked like?
Oh my God, no.
We don't even have to. I won't. I don't. We don't have to play the
You're
music.
scaring me.
No, here. It's
You're
just,
not really going to talk about Genesis, are you?
I want you to see what Peter Gabriel used to dress like. It's incredible.
Why? Why do you want us to see that?
Why do you care?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
This guy.
It's so embarrassing. Which guy? That's the monster. Monster's the
name
most
is-
interesting
His name
people.
is Gossamer. He doesn't. Yo, you're being Bugs Bunny, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's Jaws the shark.
What?
It's Jaws the shark.
Jaws
It's
the
not Jaws.
shark.
Jaws is not the shark. It is the shark. There was somebody said something about how you can tell how much you're going to hate somebody by how fervently they correct you that Frankenstein was the doctor and not the monster.
What did you just say?
Really?
No, you said something. Something about more fervent.
You can tell how much you're going to dislike somebody by how fervently they try to convince you that Frankenstein was the
Right.
doctor and not the monster.
Yeah.
Here, watch this. Watch this shit. You don't have to listen to it, but you have to watch it. Here. bring it back.
Okay. Okay.
Just look how crazy these guys are.
I'm trying to come back. I'm
back
trying. I'm trying. I hate Safari. Okay, here I am. Oh,
I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
wild, right? Like,
yeah, Chris, that's edgy. Look at how he's kicking up his feet.
wow, you're such a jerk.
I know. Who is that?
That's Peter
Is that
Gabriel
Peter Gabriel?
with Genesis.
Boy, it sounds like 1973. What year is it? 1973.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, allegedly.
Oh my God, I am so good.
As sure as eggs is eggs.
What? Oh my God, this is so annoying. Stop it.
I mean,
Why am I such a jerk?
yeah, why are you such a jerk?
I know.
What's happening there?
I don't think that's interesting. I was just telling my brother is here in Costa Rica visiting me, and he
really?
thought that I had shut up. He thought that I had said something to him. I know. People are gonna just love me from the show. Oh no, that's not good. Sorry, I was gonna play the Looney Tunes clip where Bugs Bunny shaves the monster, and he keeps shaving and shaving to give him a new hairdo, and the monster just disappears. It's all hair. But all of the clips that I can find are uploaded by WB Kids, which means they're definitely protecting their copyright. Anyway,
Do you remember the one where like there's this gangster and he's like, you gotta hide me. So he hides him in an oven. And then the cops are like, where's Muggsy? And he's like, he's not in this oven. I bet he's in that oven. Would I throw a lit match into this oven? Right? Like,
oh my God, they would not do that these days. You know?
well, I don't know. Probably not. Because of TikTok.
What? No, because it's violent. Here, I'll show you. Actually, I had the set of Looney Tunes, like all the Bugs Bunny cartoons, and it came with this like long essay opener by Oprah Winfrey about like it was a different time, everybody. Because they were pretty. Here's another thing that I bought down here in Costa Rica that I don't think you could get in the United States. Ready?
Yeah. What is that? Oh, it's a bubble wand, right?
It's bubbles and a machine gun. Can you see it, Chris?
I can. Can you make it do some bubbles?
Yeah.
Does the machine gun part actually do anything?
No. It's just a bubble wand made to look like a machine gun.
And is it full up to the brim with bubble soap?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the machine gun part doesn't do anything whatsoever.
Nope.
That's really
It's
funny.
just fun.
Have you seen
Woo!
those things you can get that you can like shoot bubble, like
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of bubbles?
I've given several to Fifi.
Oh, have you?
Yes, of course I have. I also
Oh,
gave her a
screws.
confetti gun.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those that you can.
You just wave it.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's how.
Can you actually see those on camera?
Maybe if you could get a little farther away, but yeah, we can see them. It's pretty exciting.
I had to have it immediately because
Your
it's a
Genesis
machine gun.
Genesis is not allowed. Genesis allowed is not. Planet forbidden.
I guess you don't do the chick chick if it's a machine gun. It doesn't actually have to load a round.
It does. It just does it really quickly.
But I mean, it doesn't do chick chick.
No. Well, you can pull back the slide, right?
I don't know. I was gonna do something. I was gonna show you something else. Here it is.
This is like the Costa Rican version of Blair Witch.
Yeah, sorry.
I kind of like it.
You can get all this shit down here that does not, like toys especially, that does not pass quality control to get into the United States. And I
Like this, like this bomb.
I take great joy. No, not like that. Okay. This is the U-magnet dinosaur.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enlighten your IQ. So the body can be disassembled to observe the bones inside. There's more, but that's all in Spanish. In an effort, okay. Okay, no, I can't do it. You talk for a minute.
Well, I'm not allowed to talk about Genesis or anything that I'm actually interested in. So
Yes, you're only interested in Queen and
4th
Genesis.
of July. So this is the 227th 4th of July.
Yeah, what are we going to do in 3 years?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let's see here. I have some stuff written down.
Where are all my toys?
Did we
I have a
talk
lot of
about the
toys.
Supreme? Did we talk about the Supreme Court decisions at all? Have we talked about them
No,
already?
we never even did that show.
So is that right? Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, you know, they've come down against affirmative action. They think that person.
I don't think I need more detail. You can't say that, I don't think. I mean,
Really?
they struck it down.
Sure. What do you want me to say? Let's see here.
I don't want you to say they came out against. I know. It's just that makes them seem like it makes it seem like a political decision, which you may think it is, but I don't.
Well, my
default
understanding.
talking
So
about the court
my
that way.
understanding was that there was an Asian American student who was upset that, by his estimate, Asians had to score something like 273 points higher on tests to get the same result in terms of being admitted to colleges.
Chris,
And what?
calculate the baby.
How is that? I mean, I
It's
know what it
calculate
is.
the baby.
That's an ababacus. An ababacus.
And it says children's right hand combination, dial beads left and right brain, to prompty balanced development. Children's eyes, ears, hands, mouth, bran also involved. Training children quiet is focused, moving the active good habits.
Really?
The chid's computing capability to rapidly increase to form a good logic thinking ability, and promote the development of intellectual income for life.
Now, I think it's important for people to realize that marijuana was just legalized in Maryland.
That has nothing to do with this.
Are you sure?
Warning, chicking hazard.
Chicking?
CHKING.
How is this possible?
Small parts, not for children under 3 years. Goods have the breakage or the distortion. Please do not use. Please use under the adult guardianship.
Jesus.
Calculate the baby. It's called Calculate the Baby. This is a good one. Okay.
Like they named it Rely. Yeah, okay.
Animal world. It is everyone's responsibility to protect animals.
Everyone's responsibility?
Everyone's responsibility to protect animals. Now look at the animals we have in here. We have 2 giant chickens and a tiny horse.
Are you sure
Plus
that's not a pony?
a goose and a bull.
Jesus.
Here's another good one. Farm. Okay, you can talk about the Supreme Court.
No, I just think this is so okay. So if I play Genesis or something, you're like, oh my God, I'm dying. And you're like, here, look at this hat that says it's supposed to be Kangol, but it says Kangor. You know, like.
Okay, insects. It is full of lizards.
That's pretty funny.
See? I mean, priceless.
So I want to mention the professor says that Bird of Prey came home from the hospital this morning.
Oh, good. Yay. I didn't know Bird of Prey was in the hospital. I'm so glad
I did not either. What is that?
That, my friend, is Janeway.
What?
Captain Catherine Janeway.
Let me see that's funny. Oh, it looks so lifelike.
Still in the box. It comes from the women of Star Trek. I wonder how many other dolls they made.
I know what. Here.
Did somebody? I hope. I really don't. I really want Bird to be okay. Ah! Just pulled out my headphones. I'm trying to see if there's anything that just gives you a good little smattering of my English toy collection.
All right, hold on.
Mm.
Here, I'm gonna play something else for a minute.
Oh God!
Cool.
Can you tell me what band it is first?
No, I can't.
Oh my God, you're annoying.
You're so cruel. What is wrong with you?
No. Remember.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
You can say anything to someone you've already divorced.
Shut up, you hag.
Bitch. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I wonder how many people know this. It's just the opening is very
How
cool.
old are you? 50,000?
I'm only 7 years older than you.
Yeah, but that's
in case
plenty
anyone missed
enough.
that. I'm 7 years older than she is.
What? Okay. Will you stop?
Hang on.
God.
Let's compare that to this.
That music was tedious when it came out. I'm serious.
That music was tedious when it came out.
It was. It is.
Here. Are you hearing it in stereo?
I can't tell.
I bet you're not.
Actually,
Just the opening is very cool.
all right, stop.
Okay. What are you showing now?
This is actually cat toys.
Hang on
But
for
it
1 second.
says-
Hang on. I didn't need to say something.
Oh my
On
God,
today's
Danny.
episode of Hoarders. Okay, now go ahead.
Fuck off. It says creative toy.
I said hoarders.
Creative toy for cats, dogs, intelligence, crazy amusement. Enjoy happy time with your pets.
It's funny because it's racist.
It is. On the back, it says
I'm quoting Ricky Gervais.
every toy in the set is different. They all have cats' favorite cute shapes. Your cats will never feel boring of your teasing toy now.
I'm very interesting in that.
You know, it just feels like, is Google Translate that bad from like Mandarin or Cantonese?
I
or
don't
something?
think they're using that.
Right. That's my point. Is it so bad that they don't use it? Like this is better?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't.
I think
mean,
they just don't.
well,
care.
hold on. I mean, I think the real question is where is this coming from? Because maybe they don't have access to Google Translate there.
In China?
Think about it.
Did you? Okay, so it's probably Guangzhou or something, right? Like manufacturing powerhouse.
I mean,
They do. You know what? Everybody, most people in the world. Okay, maybe
the Great
not like-
Firewall of China. You've never heard of this?
they're not firewalling off Google Translate.
Why wouldn't they? Might just be. They might be firewalling off the whole thing. Who knows?
Most of the world has the internet because most of the world has cell phones. Ellie
Yeah.
Beth, who
Okay. And on
takes
a cell
care of
phone in
me-
China, there's definitely no firewalling going on.
Look up, does Google Translate operate in China? I bet you it does. How much are we betting?
How much? We're not betting anything.
Look
Neither
what
of us has any
Professor-
money.
Professor, what did he say? There's coffee in that nebula. That's got to be from the Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Right? What else could it possibly be? And he is also 953.
There was coffee in that. No. Oh, you know what? I want to show something actually that is really cool. Hold on. Google
I was
pulled
going to
its
say, what was
Google-
that?
Google pulled its search engine. Here, look. Let's
Oh my
see.
God! That ad was a joyful ad. Like I'm right, and Andrea once in the last 25 years, Andrea was wrong.
You know what this is?
I don't care.
I don't know what it is.
Say mother, may I, and spell cup.
No. Poof. So this is interesting. Google pulled its search engine from China in 2010 because of heavy government
Search
censorship.
engine.
Hold on. The end of Google Translate in China marks a further retreat by the U.S. technology giant from the world's second largest economy. Google shuts down Translate service in China. That's weird. Isn't that weird?
What's the date on it?
22/10/03. Do you remember when I first met your father? And he said something to your mother, and she walked away, and he went like this.
Oh yeah. The dedicated mainland China website for Google Translate now redirects users to the Hong Kong version of the service.
And
Google says they discontinued it because of low usage.
here's a South China Morning Post from October 3rd, 2022. Google Translate app no longer available in China. I mean,
Okay, here's what we're going to do.
we're going to go to
pick a-
China.
We're gonna pick a different. Should we use translate.com or no? Here we go.
Isn't there like badtranslate.com we can use?
MDBG Chinese. Okay, this is the one. Okay, what are we gonna try and say?
I don't know. We're going to try and say it in Chinese and then retranslate it.
Yeah. No, we're going to try and say it in English and translate it into Chinese and then take that Chinese to a different translator and translate it back.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay, so
while you're doing that, I'm trying to find something else.
While you're doing that, I'm trying to find something. Oopsie.
Well, I think you should use some weird terminology. All right, hold on.
Weird words.
While you're doing that, I want people to see this because I think it's incredible.
Go ahead.
And I don't want any lip from you about it.
Fuck off.
All right, here, check this out. This is amazing.
I can't hear anything.
Did it stop?
I think it hasn't played at all. I can barely hear it.
Senti come scorre il giro di questa canzone fatta di pezzi di grandito nella sedere rapidamente arpeggiando rispondendo puoi capire subito che pezzo fa. Questo è il modo perfetto che queste cose erano in sistema.
What's happening? I hear so weird.
Can you not hear that?
No.
Adesso sai.
I think it's too much for my computer or something, which is too bad.
I wonder if I'm never going to be able to spell bureaucracy.
Spell bureau and then put ocracy after it.
That would have 2 O's.
There's no O in that.
Bureau.
Bureau, B-Y-O-R.
How do you spell? Oh, it's E-A-U, isn't it?
Yeah. Bureau. Ocracy.
Okay. So now I have the Chinese.
It's a blackout in Costa Rica.
What? Oh, because...
Oh, the professor's getting a lot of buffering this morning, too.
Professor! What's another word for pirate? I never get tired. Never get tired of that joke. Hi.
I call it booter.
Hey, he thinks we're hysterical.
He did say that. Maybe he means he thinks we're crazy.
Well, every time we get a 4th viewer, they go away immediately. Okay.
Somebody told me there'd be ribs.
1 rib. Okay, we're gonna go back to translate.
All right, so what do you want to
No, we're almost done. I've already got it in Chinese. We're gonna go to Lingvanex.
Lingvanex. Can you oh, you can't share this.
No, I should be on my laptop.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you cared about the audience, you'd be on your laptop.
Well, I obviously don't. Okay. Translate. Okay, so it's actually interesting to reveal sort of the internal workings of languages. Okay, so here's what I wrote. While you're doing that, I'm trying to find something else. But then I wrote a second thing and it's not there. Oh, here it is. Weird. Wow.
What?
Okay.
This is with you just being represented by blackness. It's kind of like the weird version of the allegory of the cave that's talking to us.
Okay. It says, so what I wrote was, while you're doing that, I'm trying to find something else. And then you said it should be something weirder. So I wrote, weird words wobble under Soviet-style bureaucracy. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I translated into Chinese, which looks like pictures to me. And then I took those pictures and put them back in a different translator. And this is what it says. When you do this, I try to find something else. Strange words swayed under the rule of Soviet-style beasts. But I don't think it's its fault because I think I spelled bureaucracy wrong.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm back. This is Fifi's favorite sweatshirt that I'm constantly trying to steal. Can you see it?
yeah, it's cute.
It's got a T-Rex and it says reach for the stars. Oh, because he's got such short arms.
No, it's because it's not a star.
No, it's because what is it?
It's
a
a
meteor. Oh,
it's
it's
a
coming to
meteorite.
get him. That's
It's
right.
about to destroy them. Yeah.
And he's got such short arms.
He's like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's all bad for T-Rex. Both the arms and the imminent destruction.
we should. Now here's a T-Rex playing my video game.
We got a fourth viewer again. A T-Rex.
Oh my God.
T-Rex
I was
playing
trying
a
to-
video game?
I was trying to. This shirt makes it very difficult. Hold on. I'm gonna rip this shirt here. I love this new game. It's so incredible.
Is that what
Ah,
a T-Rex sounds
ah.
like?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry.
I love this new game. It's incredible.
This game is really something. I've never seen anything like this. It's delightful.
He sounds like,
It sounds like
Like-
Rip Torn.
like a man with a fedora on in 1965 or something.
Sounds like a
Oh,
man
this is
with
all-
a fedora.
actually
I
more like
can't believe
30s.
this.
Yeah, that like
Oh,
what is
James-
that?
Jameson, get in here. What is going on?
Yeah. That sounds like what's his face?
This reminds me of this thing. Hold on. I don't know if I can do
It
this.
is a wonderful life. I can't do it. I sound like a New Yorker or something. What's his
Um,
name?
Jimmy Stewart,
Jimmy Stewart.
where he's like, wow, you're nothing but a skeevy little spider.
Oh my God! Look what Pranny Specs wrote.
I can reach any star. I've got faith of the heart. Is that a quote?
It's from that horrible theme song of Enterprise. Something is happening here in my house. Hold on a second.
Did I
What?
just
Are you
mess
okay?
up?
What happened? Oh, okay. Oh my God! I totally woke you up, didn't I? Oh, okay, good. House guest. I have not checked on the birthing mother in a little while, so we'll do that. I'm on Facebook Live with some people. we have a pregnant dog who is in labor, but
Are you checking on the dog?
yep. How you doing, baby? My queen, you okay?
I'm doing okay, Andrea. How are you?
She's good. Okay, so she back up. Hold on a second, everybody. Back up. There's a good girl. How you doing? You okay? You okay? Yeah. She's fine. There are no puppies here. Right? let's just make sure.
Are there no puppies there?
No puppies. Yet.
Oh, this is what I'm looking for. Hold on.
It's okay, baby.
Did she growl?
Yeah, a little bit. It's okay, baby. You okay? It's painful. You okay?
Be careful.
Yeah, I will. I think I'm gonna text the vet, see if one of them wants to pop over. At 9. Right now it's only 8:10.
All right, I want to play you something that I think is funny, and that has no copyright restrictions
Excellent.
because it's mine. This is a thing. I think you've heard this. I think you've heard this, Andrew. This is a thing where I was trying to get Dinga to say this.
Sorry.
To read this Scientific American article about the very first time they saw the phonograph for the thing. So here, hold on a sec. I'm muting you. I want you to read the Scientific American, just like some of the stuff from the Scientific American article about the phonograph, but kind of read it like this, and I'll process it and make it like it's in the background.
You have to make clear that that wasn't just, you're too small
Like,
to
no.
know that that's not you talking.
Wait, well,
Yeah, I know. I mean, live now. But that is a recording of you. It was very confusing for a second because it sounded like you were talking to me, saying, "I'm going to mute you." Now I want you to read this article on the air.
All right, I'm playing a recording of me talking to Dinga Gaba, who I do this award-winning podcast with, and I'm trying to get him to read the scientific. You'll hear, but this is not me talking now. This is me playing here. I want you to read the Scientific American, just like some of the stuff from the Scientific American article about the phonograph, but kind of read it like this, and I'll process it and make it like it's in the background. Are you like, no?
Yeah, I'm basically like, no, but let me see what you're.
Do you want me? I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, Mr. Thomas A. Edison recently came into this office, placed a little machine on our desk, turned a crank, and the machine inquired as to our health, asked how we liked the phonograph, informed us that it was very well, and bid us a cordial good night.
No.
You're not going to do that?
No.
So I thought that was cute and funny. I wanted to share it with you.
That is cute and funny. And the next time you say, you talk about your podcast as the award-winning podcast, I'm going to punch you in the face.
That's going to be awfully hard from Costa Rica.
Yeah, well.
Show me. Yeah, do it now. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
I'm trying to understand. Professor Brainy Speck says, Enterprise theme song fits the show. Why don't people understand this? Wow. What is WoW? Is that World of Warcraft, or is he saying WoW?
No, I think he's shocked that people don't understand that it fits the show.
No, I think it's an acronym. Because you wouldn't say like, I'm shocked. Wow. Would you?
Why don't people understand this? Wow. It's smack my head. Wow. Wow.
I think we should run a campaign.
He's doing the smack my head thing.
Exactly. He's brilliant. You know what, Jeff? Specs, you should do improv.
WoW is not an anagram.
Yes, it is. World of Warcraft. It's just not the one you were using.
No, it's not an anagram.
It also ow. I meant acronym.
Whoa!
Did I say anagram?
Well,
He said it's not an. I don't know. Somebody said anagram.
Yeah. I think I must have said it was an anagram when I meant an acronym.
It's a bananagram.
Any anagram of WoW would have to be either whoa or oh. Ow. That's it. You have to put the O either at the beginning or the end if you've already had it in the middle.
So many rules.
Because there are 3 letters. Am I making myself clear? By the way, speaking of factorization, did you know that a regular deck of cards, the kind that you don't know how to play solitaire with, there have, in the history of cards, there have never been 2 shuffles that were statistically the same.
That's not true.
It is true.
In the history of cards, there were never 2 shuffles that were statistically the same.
The factorization, the number of the possible order of 52 cards is crazy town. The possible numbers of number of combinations that you can have with 52 cards.
And just so I'm clear, you're saying that nobody has ever shuffled the same 52 cards the same way?
Hold on.
Because that's
52
insane.
factorial. The number
52
of possible
52.
ways to order a pack of 52 cards is hold the line, caller.
52 up carat.
It's an 8 with 67 zeros after it.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, it's a 1.7
8 times 10 to the
Zero.
67th.
7067656 E plus 89.
Yeah, well, that E that's what the calculator does because it can't put
Right.
67 zeros behind it.
Okay. So, but I still don't believe that nobody's ever gotten the same exact shuffle.
Statistically, there hasn't been 2 equal shuffles.
Okay.
You still sound.
I mean, I just think I think that's bullshit.
What?
I think if you're saying if we were magically able, like one of the angels in that Wim Wenders movie about angels, who were able to like listen to people's thoughts and stuff. If we were one of these creatures who's able to divine the entire world and history of cards, of 52 cards, 52 cards in a deck cards, and shuffling, and that no 2 shuffles were ever the same, I'm calling shenanigans. And it doesn't matter statistically what's happened. I don't believe that's never happened. I think that's ridiculous. There may be a tremendous number of combinations. The idea that 7 billion people on the planet and some subset of that having multiple decks of cards and all those people shuffling a billion times a day, that nobody's ever had the same shuffle is nuts.
Okay, listen to this. Let's say you're reshuffling the deck every second. Every 1 second you reshuffle the deck and you only get new combinations. All right?
Mm-hmm.
You start doing this. Let's say you're standing on the beach at the Pacific Ocean where I am roughly here, okay?
Okay.
You shuffle the cards once a second and only get new combinations. You shuffle for 1 billion years. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Once a second, 1 billion years. Once you're done, you can take 1 step forward onto the Pacific Ocean. Then you shuffle for another 1 billion years. Then you can take another step. You have to do this and completely walk around the entire globe before you statistically get to another one. Get to a repeat. 40,000 kilometers, 25,000 miles.
Okay.
Oh my God, this person's so annoying. The person that I'm cribbing from his website is
Is this Now I Know?
it goes on and on and on. There are more. Okay, so this is from McGill University. There are more ways to arrange a deck of cards than there are atoms on Earth. Then McGill University says, consider how many card games must have taken place across the globe since the beginning of humankind. No one has and will likely never hold the exact same arrangement of those 52 cards.
That's okay, but if you open it up to the entire world,
the whole world.
No. What I mean is, so there are the largest manufacturer of playing cards in the world sells more than 100 million decks of playing cards per year. But I mean, that's the largest one. So let's just say that there are 1 billion decks of cards sold a year. and I don't know how many of them are actively used or how many of them are on shelves or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But if there are 7.5 or 8 billion people on Earth, and let's say half of that plays with cards, I
You're
just
not
don't.
going to get there. You would
No,
have to
I
rearrange the deck of cards
no, no,
every
no, no,
second
no, no,
of the
no,
universe's
no,
total existence.
no. What I'm saying is, with all the people that are, we're talking about two different things. You're saying that you, as an individual, statistically will never get the same shuffle, and what I'm saying is that across all of the decks in all of the people of the world, there are definitely two people who've gotten the same
Both are
shuffle.
true. There are not.
Yeah.
No. I am saying the latter thing by saying in all of the card shuffling that has ever
In
happened,
all the world, had to come into this one.
In all of humankind, no one, it is totally unlikely that no two, I mean, except for the fact that, people don't shuffle very well and cards come in a non-random order,
That would be funny if this was my origin story, and from this point on, all I did with my entire life was devote all of it, like make as much money as I could, and devote as many resources into building like a billion card shuffling things that shuffled cards perfectly. And then as soon as two of them have the exact same shuffle, it's like time. And then on my deathbed, I present them to you. Like, look, that would be a really shitty origin story.
Yeah.
Why do you keep going away?
Because I'm looking at other web pages.
Why don't you get out your fucking computer?
Because I don't want to. Bitch. I mean, just do a search for 52 factorial.
I already did.
And so you proved me right.
If every human alive for those 500 or so years since the beginning of cards shuffled a deck of cards, one deck per second, we'd end up with that many decks shuffled.
Yeah.
A 9 followed by 19 zeros. That's how many decks of cards there are in the world.
You can't get there.
It doesn't make what I'm saying. I stand by what I've said.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong. You're wrong.
Well, no, I mean, unless you're arguing that
How dare you?
people don't actually shuffle in a random way and cards don't come in. But what you're going to say that the math is wrong?
The math is. You're saying that it's it's impossible.
Not me. It's mathematics saying it. And it's not impossible. It's completely unlikely.
It's not mathematics. Mathematics isn't saying what I'm saying. Mathematics
yes,
is saying what you're
is.
saying. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I am saying both things. Both that one person can't get it twice and that all of humanity hasn't.
I'm saying this is bullshit. That in all of humanity playing cards and shuffling cards, there have been at least two shuffles that were the same. Yes, come on.
Okay.
That's insane. That is insane what you're saying.
The probability is that there are so many possible combinations of 52 cards that it is vastly unlikely if every shuffle is random. This is the point at which we separate, you and I.
But that's not why we separated.
Somehow you think your gut instinct is more right than mathematics. And yes, it's true, shuffles are not really random. I mean, the reason why your instinct is telling you that is because probably there have been, because it's not random. But the point that we're making is you take any 52 things and there will be 8 with 67 zeros after it, possible combinations of those things. The order, you get it, it's the order.
I understand, right? And I understand that. I understand. and I guess all I'm saying is,
We lost
all
our
I
fourth viewer again.
all I'm saying, I can't blame him. All I'm saying is because that person was like, "Yeah, she's wrong, bro."
Uh-huh.
All I'm saying is that I can understand statistically a single person not ever getting the same combination, but I don't understand the idea that it would just be impossible across all of the cards that people have ever shuffled across the entirety of cards existing and people
Yes.
having cards. No, I don't buy it. I don't agree. I
See,
think it's,
here's the thing. The thing is, what I do is have the same feeling that you do, which is like, that can't be true. No way. And then I think, holy shit. Really? Wow. I don't trust my random ass impression about numbers over mathematics.
uh-huh.
I mean, don't you know how like terribly we conceive of numbers, we humans?
I think that I have a deeper point that you're somehow missing.
Okay.
And
Tell me again, or I can try and imago your ass. Tell it back to you. Sorry. I was just trying to be funny.
I mean, what I'm saying is, and I'll say that. Let me say
There are a
this
lot
as
of
clearly as
people and
possible.
a lot of decks of cards.
Yeah, since the beginning of time, when there have been
Is that your
52.
deeper point? Sorry, go ahead. Boy, am I being a jerk. Go ahead.
Do you really want? Do you care what I'm having to say here? Do you want to hear
I
it?
just think I do understand you, and you just think that if I would agree with you, and I don't.
Okay, hold on.
What's going on with my? You keep muting me. I was answering your question.
I know.
I
I
was
thought it was
answering
funny.
your question. I'm gonna slap your ass.
So
I
listen, don't
go
say
ahead.
anything.
Fine.
I just
Hey,
don't.
just joking.
Hang on a second. I need to do something. All right. I in all the world of all the decks of cards that have ever existed and people who have had them and shuffles that all of these people have done, even if they were perfect shuffles, which we're talking about billions of people and billions of decks of cards, I don't believe that not at least once two people have had the same shuffle. And I understand that it's astronomically insane that that's possible, but I so what? I just don't. It just doesn't. I don't. I mean, it just doesn't. It doesn't make sense that it hasn't happened at least one random chance out of all the history of cards. I don't believe it. I don't believe
Yeah,
it.
there probably have been identical shuffles, but
What are you doing?
I'm telling you that statistically,
Sure.
there are
Okay.
so many possibilities that the probability is not that. If they are random shuffles, and by saying if they are random shuffles, and I clarified this twice already, God, they cannot be, just like Brainy Specs is saying, of course, they all come in the same order. People probably, there probably have been duplicates, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's so many there's such a huge number of possible orders of cards that it's not probable. It's probable that they're all different. Probability is not a dictation, though.
Brainy Specs has a good point.
I have been saying it over and over again.
That they all start in the same order?
Oh my God, do you not listen to anything I say?
Are you talking right now?
Fuck you. Like, here's the thing. I think I totally understood you and you didn't understand me.
No, I understand you.
Kept saying, I feel like you're saying something totally different now.
I'm not. All I'm saying is that I'm not saying something totally different. You're saying statistically it's impossible, and all I'm saying is
I did
everything. I'm
not
not going to
say
repeat what I was.
statistically it is impossible.
It's unlikely. Well, what
is-
did you say? Extremely unlikely.
Oh my God, I just want to shoot something. I know that people shuffle poorly, that shuffles are not random distributions, that cards come in the specific order. Right? I was never trying to say that.
Sure, I wasn't either, but I just thought it was an interesting point. But I don't.
No,
I'm not
but
saying,
you kept saying that it was. The only thing I'm trying to say is a really big number of possible combinations.
yeah, we agree on that. And all I'm saying is that in the history of all of this, I'm sure it's happened at least one time that
It's
that two
probably
people
happened,
across.
but it's improbable.
Sure. Okay.
I keep saying like these words that like are precise.
Really? Improbable
Yeah.
is a precise word,
Yes, it's about probability.
and it's not probable.
Yes, see, there it is. Just saying it right. Andrea, you were talking on a technical standpoint. Chris, you were talking about human errand standpoint, and we're both right.
But
Chris
is
not
more right.
No, but he's just on your side. I'm more right because I started the conversation and said the thing precisely on a technical standpoint, and then you said no. You're the one who denied my technical superiority from the beginning.
Mozart never tinkled. That's why he died so young.
What does tinkle mean in that?
My friend Michael Calkin was telling me this story about a person playing Mozart piano concerto in college, and the orchestra conductor stopped the pianist and said, "Don't tinkle. Mozart never tinkled." And then somebody in the audience said, "That's why he died so young."
Oh, don't get me started about piano concertos.
You hate piano. Was Resolute Germ here before?
I don't know. He might have been lurking. Hi.
So Andrea
He
hates
was
piano,
called-
by the way.
Specifically piano concertos. I don't like concert piano.
You never said that. You just said
No,
you
I don't.
hated
You're
piano.
right. I don't like piano. I do like honky tonk. And I like player pianos.
You like prepared piano. Anything that makes the piano sound not so much like a piano.
Yeah, basically.
Like a piano that has like tacks in it, and ding ding ding
Yeah.
ding 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 ding.
Basically, I like the not piano.
Yeah.
Don't like harpsichord either. That sounds like you're being pecked to death by birds.
What who was it? I think it's Vaughn Williams said that harpsichord sounded like banging a toasting fork on a table.
Yeah. A toasting fork?
Like one of these long, skinny forks that you'd put some toast on or something, or marshmallow or whatever.
Is that how you toast your toast?
That's how they used to.
You get some toast and you put it on a toasting fork and then you toast it.
You toast the fork. That's a fork for. It's not a fork that you're like, hey, right? Like.
No, I'm laughing at the fact that you're putting you already have toast and you're putting it on the toasting fork. What is that?
Is it annoying?
What is it?
It's a nose hair trimmer.
I think you messed up your mic. Did it fall off?
Did it fall off? That's
No.
fine.
You know what they use for toasters now? I mean, they do have toaster, like electric toasters, but your normal toaster here
is the sun.
Is this weird little like trivet grate thing. It's a metal thing that you put on top of your gas burner. It's a little grill that you put on top of your gas burner and then put the toast on. Not toast. Bread.
What's on top of the grill? Is it just a grill? Like, is it like
slab? Yeah, it's a grill. It's a little thing that puts distance between the flame and the bread.
That's funny.
Yeah, weird.
So, all right, let's talk. We were talking about the Supreme Court thing.
No, we weren't.
No, what's interesting too is that apparently, well, no, we were starting to. So, like, what's the
Back
see.
100 years ago, what?
So
the
they're
Asian
also
person who has to get better grades than everyone else.
well. So this is interesting. So the NAACP. Also, hold
NAACP.
on. Civil rights. This is from NPR. A civil rights group is challenging legacy admissions at Harvard University, saying the practice discriminates against students of color by giving an unfair boost to the mostly white children of alumni. The practice of giving priority to the children of alumni has faced growing pushback in the wake of last week's Supreme Court decision ending affirmative action in higher education. The NAACP added its weight behind the effort on Monday, asking more than 1,500 colleges and universities to even the playing field in admissions, including by ending legacy admissions. The civil rights complaint was filed Monday by Lawyers for Civil Rights, a nonprofit group in Boston. But let's see what they were saying. Apparently 70% of Harvard's donor-related and legacy applicants are white. And being a legacy student makes an applicant roughly 6 times more likely to be admitted.
Yeah, I saw a political cartoon that had a Supreme Court justice saying to, a bunch of people of color, like, nope, you do not get, extra consideration. You're just like everybody else. And then another one saying to,
My dad
legacy, go
went.
right in. Yeah, go right in,
Yeah,
or
right.
something like that. But the thing that gets me is like there are totally different like philosophies at play here, right?
Mhm.
Why should anyone think that they deserve an equal opportunity to get admitted to a private institution?
Well, that's the classic. Private companies can do what they want, right?
Right.
Well, let's talk about the Supreme Court decision first, right?
Okay.
So this is from Boston.com. In a landmark 6-3 decision on Thursday, the Supreme Court restricted the use of race as a factor in college admissions, marking the end of a decades-long policy meant to diversify colleges and universities. The justices, the same 6 members of the court who overturned Roe versus Wade last year, said race-based admissions at Harvard University and University of North Carolina violated the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the majority opinion covering both disputes. Many universities have for too long wrongly concluded that the touchstone of an individual's identity is not the challenges best in skills built or lessons learned, but the color of their skin, he wrote. Harvard Northeastern, Governor Maura Healey's administration, the state's congressional delegation, and the Massachusetts Teachers Association all released statements following the ruling. No part of what makes us who we are can ever be irrelevant, Harvard's president Lawrence Bacow wrote. So there's a poll that they took, and out of what looks like roughly 1,600 responses, 65% agreed with the Supreme Court ruling. In a Boston.com poll, a majority, 65% of the more than 1,600 readers polled said they agreed with the court's ruling. Skin color is not a gauge for character, intelligence, work ethic, or talents, Erin in Boston wrote. Maria M. in Lowell disagreed. Discrimination of any shape and color is unconstitutional. She said, it's not just Boston.com readers, but most Americans seem to side with SCOTUS. An ABC Ipsos poll, 52% of Americans approved the court's decision restricting the use of race as a factor in college admissions. So that's a thing. Let's see. Let me see if I can find what the person who brought this.
I think it's.
I'm listening.
It's hard to separate the philosophical underpinnings of an entire sort of civil code from the overshadowing legacy of hundreds of years of genocide. Right? It's hard to balance these things out. And
sure.
I tend to think that, like, busing and affirmative action and a lot of things, they were, good college tries, but like, haha, get it? But but really not this, not the solution. And affirmative action in college admissions is, I tend to think of it as like outmoded. It's not the right way anymore, if it ever was, to deal with this problem. I mean, you have to leave the whole legacy thing. It's so easy to be like, well, those legacy kids just get. They may have a finger on the scale, but they aren't. You can't assume that it's the fact that their parents went there that make them more likely to get in. It could be it's the fact that their parents had good educations and filled their houses with books and send their kids to good schools that made them more likely candidates. It may not be just some kind of nepotistic thing. You know?
Do you really think that would account for 6 times? So maybe it is.
No,
six
like I said, I think there's a finger on the scale, but I don't think the equal opposite of that is affirmative action.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know.
You know, and I also don't give a shit about Harvard. You know, I mean, like I think this whole debate is outmoded because I think the entire system of education is completely set up for a world that no longer exists.
Okay.
I mean, are you getting comments still? Is Jerem the last person who said?
10:38 was only 5 minutes ago.
They've filled that before and lost. Is that the last thing?
I think it's supposed to be filed, but yeah.
Yeah. You know, but I also think this is going to be unpopular. I also think Roe v. Wade was a terrible precedent. I mean, but it's back to like what Specs was saying about like technicality versus sort of cultural whatever. I mean, Roe v. Wade was a terrible precedent, and you can tell by the fact that it was struck down. Right? It was always terrible. Everybody in the the pro-abortion movement knew that from the beginning, and didn't spend all their time from 1974 to 2023 trying to actually ensconce abortion rights in law, while the other side, the anti-abortion people, did spend all of that time trying to get out, so like, you see that I'm nicely sidestepping the actual content of it. It's just, I don't think of the Supreme Court the way that I think most people do, because I think most people don't understand how it works.
Don't understand how what works.
Don't really understand how the Supreme Court comes to take up anything in the first place, what the scope of the ruling is, what it means, how Supreme Court rulings interplay with regulations and laws. I mean, I think people think of it as politicians who judge or something, judges who are politicians. They think of it as a body that can uphold and strike down laws, when it's not that. Actually, it's a body that can rule on specific cases, very specific cases, and those rulings can then have an effect on regs and laws. But those are radically different things. I think I lost your attention. I can see it.
I'm still here. I'm trying to highlight something and I can't for some reason.
I'm very much an American institutionalist. I believe in the system and none of the people in it.
Can you expand on that?
Yeah, I think it's appropriate to strike down bad legal precedent, regardless of the content. I think if you want to make abortion a right for everyone, then you should pass a law that says that. Not get a Supreme Court ruling reading something into the Constitution kind of thinly when that word isn't even there, and then hanging 30 years of feminist cause on top of it. And acting like the problem here is the court.
Mm-hmm. You're saying that, and the court is literally doing what it should have done.
Well, should is a hard word. I agree with striking it down. I don't necessarily disagree with enacting it in the first place, even though it was bad, even though it was poor. I don't mean bad, I mean poor. It's like rinky dink. The way that Roe v. Wade was, Roe v. Wade legalized abortion in the United States. But, I mean, it was rinky dink, but it may have been the only way that women could get that right at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, whatever you think about abortion rights, will dictate whether you think that was a good idea or not. The system sometimes, that's the cool thing about the American system. They made it weird and flexible, in like lots of different secret ways, but and so I guess I'm kind of talking, it sounds like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. But I never thought striking down Roe v. Wade would be the end of women as we know them. The way that the political left freaked the fuck out for years. Oh, every single fucking election. Oh, with Roe v. Wade is at stake.
Do you remember? So, like I have this sense from I'm sure I've seen a video about this where
I might have made it.
No, you didn't make it in the 70s. Because the thing that I was struck by was how I feel like there was debate in Congress about abortion rights.
Every single.
But in the 70s or the late 60s or something, mm-hmm. that things weren't nearly as polarized as they are now, and that there were Democrats and Republicans who basically were like, this is killing people. They're just going to keep doing it. Basically very, I think at the time, thoughtful responses on both sides for what was going on. And I'm trying to figure out what was that I'm imagining there, because
it was Congress before 1994.
Well, yeah. Hold on. 49 years. I think this was a long time ago. Yeah, the Supreme Court's 1973 ruling. But I feel like before it got there was okay.
There was a decade or more of debate. They tried.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's funny. Government Track is on Mastodon.
What's Government Track? I don't know Government Track.
I don't know. It looks like a bill thing. The tracks bills.
I don't quite get what you're looking. You're looking for. You once remember a political debate about abortion that wasn't war.
That I feel like some aspect of it passed because Republicans joined Democrats and were like, "This is the right thing to do."
Oh yeah.
But I can't think of what specifically that would have been.
Could have been health of the mother, health of the child. Health of the mother, rape, incest, exceptions.
Yeah.
Could have been what they call partial birth abortion. That went the other way, but lots of Democrats voted for that. A ban.
No, but I mean, this was a long
PBA.
time ago. I'm not talking about something recently. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all right. We can come back to it at some other time.
There used to be a time when politics was about the things they were saying.
Right.
Like when people talked. Now
instead of the opposite.
Yeah, now all it is fear. I mean, I can't remember the last time I heard anything substantive said about abortion. It's all just, the left blows up this idea like everybody on the other side hates women, and they're necessarily misogynist pricks if they don't conceive of these complicated scientific and moral issues the same way. And everybody on the right says the other people are murderers, or willing to put up with murder to make their lives more convenient. That's literally the only thing the two sides say. You hate women. You kill babies.
Yeah. Well, and that's in part because however it's developed, and I'm not saying it's nefarious, although it may be, the point of parties is to polarize and prevent discussion at this point. It is
to scare the shit out of the other side so your side keeps getting elected. And it serves nobody but the parties.
Right.
Hi, John DeMarco. Oh my God, we're up to 5. The ones are coming out of the woodwork today.
Well, let's see what else we have on our docket. Oh, you were going to talk about William Walker.
Oh.
I don't know who William Walker is. So who's William Walker?
You talk about something else for a second. I gotta make sure that my
Well, okay. So Alan Arkin died. I'm assuming most of the people on here.
Ellen Barkin.
Jesus Christ. And he was. I think my first. Let me see if I can find this. Alan Arkin. The In-Laws.
No, we can't both be searching the internet at the same time.
No, that's okay. I'm gonna see if I can find a video clip. He was in this movie in 1979 with Peter Falk called The In-Laws, which was really pretty funny. And let me see. I'm going to share this because I think it's. They were really great together, and the idea is that. Alan Arkin is a very straight-laced doctor, father of this couple who's getting married, and Peter Falk is an ex-CIA agent. So let's see if I can share this and see if you can watch this. This is the trailer, the classic trailer.
She's on Verizon, and she's got
apparently Sadie's on Verizon, and she's got something which we're muting, so we don't have to learn about it. Hold on.
So
hold on, we're waiting for this to go away.
Who's Sadie?
She's a person in a Verizon commercial, and now she's gone. Okay, here we go.
He's a dentist from New Jersey.
Oh my God, I need to put you on my Google.
That's emergencies. He travels a lot on business.
Hello, yeah. I work for the CIA.
He's got a successful practice.
Mr. Hershon, I cannot work this way.
He's got a dubious past.
You were involved with the Bay of Pigs? Wow, that was my idea.
In 48 hours, his son is marrying his daughter.
Could I borrow you for a couple of minutes?
What's 5 minutes for a member of the family? Where are we going?
Just over to my office. I want you to break into my safe.
And what happens in between will bring them together. For better?
Did we hit the little boy on 6th Avenue?
Or for worse.
No, I'm not him. He's my in-law. Look, here's my card.
Oh God, oh God, oh God.
To have and to hold.
I really like it, Chief. Just to explain. No explaining! Just get out of my life!
In sickness.
Oh my God, Ed Begley?
What are you laughing
Jesus.
about?
He was thrown out of the agency late last year in a mental. A mental, you heard me right.
And in health. To honor and to obey. To love and to cherish.
I'll kill him, I swear to God, kill him!
In prosperity.
What's that?
$5 million, just hang on.
$5 million.
And in adversity. In the good times, as well as the bad. So long as they both shall live.
Come on, Vince, what's the plan?
I'm wide open. What do you got in mind?
If any person can find just cause why these two should not be joined together, let them now
Oh my
speak
God, this is so
or
long.
forever
I know, it really is
hold
long.
their peace.
Did you find your thing?
Pull it off.
Stay the hell away.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've been ready.
All right, it's almost over.
Alan Arkin.
All right, Alan Arkin is dead. He was great. It's a shame that he's dead. Take it away, Andrea.
It's really the sloppiest spoof of a real show ever done. What's interesting is that you and I both have had and
funny.
have real shows.
And who gives a shit? It's great. Where did I
Okay.
have that? Hold on, I have that thing. Here, you just keep talking. Let me get this thing ready here. Here. Why aren't you talking? Did you fall off? Oh, geez. Well, all right. She's gone again. I was going to put this up and have it say send money, but you don't have to send money. And this is I never do this, but I used this today to figure out and get it wrong what the Wordle was for today, which is funny. You know what? I think this probably means that Andrea's phone died because one, she does everything on her phone, and two, it's never charged. I don't know why, but it never is. So, let me look at my list of stuff here because there were other things I wanted to talk about too. Oh, well, here's some good news. So I didn't even know this, but the Ingenuity helicopter, apparently they've not been able to contact it for, I think over a couple of months, and they finally got through to it the other day, which was pretty cool. Apparently it was stuck behind a dune or something, and they were able to get back to it. So it's after a 63-day silence, which is cool because I don't think they expected this little helicopter to last nearly as long as it has, and it's done, I don't know, something like 50 different missions at this point or something. Let me look. Wonder how long it takes to get your phone charged up enough for it to come back online. Yeah, it flew on April 26th for its 50-second flight, but lost contact with mission controllers before landing. And I guess it landed behind a dune, which made it behind a hill, which prevented it from communicating with the rover, because I guess there wasn't line of sight. So that's interesting. How did they? And then they had Perseverance, the rover, go over the hill to be able to communicate with it, and it got back. So that's pretty cool. And here's a picture from that flight. Actually, Andrew said she'll be right back. Hang on. This is pretty cool. These selfies that it takes. You can see that right there. So that was I guess one of the last things it broadcast before it got lost. But everything's good for it now. And Andrea's back. We were just talking about how, I don't know, did you know that Ingenuity, the little helicopter, was lost? They couldn't communicate with it for 2 months, and they had to get the rover to go over a hill to be able to get back to it, and they were able to. So that's pretty exciting.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
You started talking to me before I was. You started talking to me before I was here. They couldn't see me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you could hear me, right? Wait, you're gone again. What happened?
Yeah, no, I was showing you that you can see me down there.
Right, but you could hear me talking to you.
Barely, because I just logged in.
Are you on your laptop now?
Yes.
How funny. Okay. So anyway, William.
Something about a helicopter on Mars? What?
Yeah, the Ingenuity helicopter has been literally incommunicado for 2 months.
Oh.
Because
and it's still extant? It's still around doing things, or
it's
what?
Totally fine. It just landed on the far side of a hill, and because there was no line of sight, it couldn't communicate with the rover.
Whoa.
So I guess it took 2 months for the rover to get over that hill, and now they're back together again.
Hold on, I'm checking on the birthing process.
What's covered in plastic in front of us?
Okay, baby? Everything okay down there? Okay. Come on, Joey. Come on, let's go. You cannot miss. Come on. Come on, good girl.
Sorry, hello. It really is like, it's really like a clown show, my life. Okay. You know?
Hey, is that made of almond behind you?
How did you know?
It's funny. It's like almost like the whole house is made of almond. That's so strange.
A wood you can no longer harvest or cut down.
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason I bought this house is because I think the floors on just the second floor are worth the cost of the house that I paid.
Jesus, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they grow teak here. You know, it's like tropical hardwood is the thing.
So William Walker.
Hold on, I only have 3%. I can't do filibustering yet.
Twitter. Have you followed any of the shenanigans at Twitter?
Oh my God. I don't know why, but like why I care, but I think Elon Musk instating the like whatever download limits, what are they? Something limits?
I mean, he's done all sorts of things, and one of the things he's done is that if you're not, I mean, before you used to be able to look at stuff on Twitter and not be logged into Twitter, and now you can't, right? And what's funny is, and people have pointed out, it has had the opposite effect of what was expected from his point of view, which is that
all of it has,
because you can't connect to it because it's rejecting you because you're not logged in. It makes you try to connect again. So it's like inadvertently doing multiple repeated connections, which is causing its own denial of service attack, basically. But he's also made it so that unless you're logged in, like if you have a verified account, I think you can see 6,000 tweets a day. But if you're not verified, you can see 600. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, what's that called again? They're limiting the scroll limiting or something.
Rate, they call it rate limiting.
Rate limiting, yeah.
And then there was this whole thing where if you'd go to the, the place where all the trending stuff is, you could see what was trending. But then if you clicked on anything, you'd get the tweets are not loading right now thing.
Yeah, I kept getting it.
It's crazy. So
tweets aren't loading. Yeah, the thing that it reminded me of is, that you used to get the fail whale all the time.
Sure.
Right, we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason people called it that is because there was a whale that said like know.
Oh, it was a whale that was being like held up by birds, wasn't it? Something like
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Yeah, like Twitter was. Yeah, it was overloaded. And what I find interesting is that by limiting it, and therefore trying to lower the amount of bandwidth,
Right.
that they're basically, they would consider they're leaking, right, on non-registered, non-paying customers, or non-blue check, whatever. They're actually, that's like the carnal sin of social media, right? It's like you can't have your UGC cake and eat it too. The UGC being user generated content.
Right.
You can't you can't not pay for the content, right? Meaning set up a system where the users are actually making all the content that all the other users are watching, right? You can't not make the content and also limit it to the people using it. The reason why people are willing to pay for paywalls, or pay to get to paywalls, whether it's Netflix or a newspaper, whatever, is because it's not UGC. It's, not user generated content. It's actually, for whatever it's worth, whatever you think of them, it's curated, it's produced, it's, you know what I mean? You're paying for a level of quality, right? But you can't have Joe Schmoes and mixed with Kim Kardashian, mixed with Chris Mandra, actually making the content and limit people to it. Because all you do is whittle down. You just end up whittling down the content too.
Sure. So, I mean, what I think is interesting is Twitter has apparently lost something along the lines of 74% of its value since Musk took over. And I'm like,
is a hard word there.
Well, I think it's yeah, sure, but because of people leaving and because of advertising leaving, but I don't understand what.
Well, I think it's more than that.
Well, let me finish.
I think when they say value, they're talking about stock price. Go ahead.
But my point is, I don't understand why people would trust this guy to put a brain implant in them and not kill them.
Is Elon Musk putting a brain implant in somebody?
He has a company called Neuralink, and that's its whole purpose, is to eventually put implants in your brain that allow you to do things.
And do you think Elon Musk will put them in?
I think you're missing my point.
I think NASA uses SpaceX rockets because it's not Elon Musk making the rockets.
It's his company. He bought Twitter. Twitter's now his company. He's doing a terrible job.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that the neuro engineers at his implant company are going to kill people because of Elon Musk.
I mean, this is the same guy who there was just a big leak about Tesla stuff in a German newspaper.
There's no question but that he's a shifty asshole.
Right, but I mean, what is it? The fish rots from the head, right? I mean, he has veto.
Is that Caesar?
I don't know. He has veto power, right? He can do whatever he wants, and if he tells the customer service people to not write anything down, so there's no record about it when people call in and are like, "Yeah, I almost ran over a kid with my autopilot or whatever," this is for a reason. He's not a good actor.
I just don't think it's going to make for great business to kill the people you're implanting the chips into.
You don't think it's good business if you kill the people you're putting the chips into?
No, I don't think you'll get very many customers.
I think that is a terrible business. What I'm saying is, based on the way that he has taken over Twitter and the things that have happened to Twitter, would you trust him to have a company that puts brain implants in people? And the answer is no.
That is such a ridiculous thought experiment. I don't know what to do with it, because Twitter never made any sense as a money making proposition in the first place.
Oh, I don't even
Musk
care about it
is a
making money.
dickhead, and none of it. It's like, ask me if I'd go down in a sub with a guy who didn't understand carbon fiber, and I'll answer that one.
Well, we know the answer to that, right?
Yeah. I did have my $250,000 racked up.
That was $1 million worth of revenue that he murdered. That guy.
It's a little odd to note the dollar value rather than
No, but it was
human
four
beings.
people. 4 people.
Yeah, I don't count
Each paying-
people in $250,000 increments.
Well, I don't either, but I mean, I think it's insane. It is insane I think it is.
He obviously didn't think. He obviously drank so much of his own goddamn Kool-Aid that he wasn't living on the planet.
Yeah, hang on. Let me see if I can find this thing, because there was something really great. Here, you talk for a second.
Okay, I'm reading. Resolute Germ says they had to rebuild the Twitter infrastructure from basically the ground up. It's a minor miracle. It works at all. Totally. Twitter was like I think it was like one of the first real like challenges to agile database, serving for consumers anyway. Crazy town. What the kind of like server space that thing sucks up. John DeMarco says, I wouldn't trust anybody to put brain implants in me. It doesn't matter how successful or not their company is.
Yeah,
and Brainy says, Twitter was in bad shape before Musk bought it. Totes. And Germ, being a private company, Twitter's value isn't as easy to establish as people believe. Value of public company was extremely overestimated by the stock price being manipulated totally. And Brainy says that he missed 10 minutes of the stream because he was in the shower. And I am canceling you once again. I think it's a little like Kenny. I think Jeff gets canceled. Jeff gets canceled as one of our, show.
You canceled Jeff. You bastard.
Professor Brainy Smacks. Okay, your turn.
I'm still for something.
Okay, hold on. I wanted to look up so Twitter was right. I'm confused. Did they go back to private while I was out of the country? Because they weren't public, weren't they? I think Twitter? They had TWTR, yeah. On the New York Stock Exchange.
That's so true.
But I think maybe they went private. Did Musk take them private? I just don't know the story, and it's bad. I was once at the fine economic program of.
Here, I want to show you guys something. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna hang on a second.
So somebody answer the question. I don't want to cancel you, Professor. I'd lose my co-host. Wait, so John and Brainy, you guys are doing a show together, or is it Question of Trek? Okay. Yeah, Twitter was public on the stock exchange until October 27th, 2022. So they must have pulled it right as Musk was buying it. Yeah, Twitter's completely private from the time Musk bought it. Yeah. So that's the thing. Musk bought this as a little sandbox for him. He doesn't. I don't think he cares. Yeah. The thing that I wonder about is there are so many. I mean, like the one thing that Twitter is good for is news, right? It's the one social media. It's the one social media organization that literally broadcasts your tweet immediately to everyone and doesn't use an algorithm to like suggest or serve or all that. I mean, it does suggest some things, but it's like not as time sensitive. So if you want to know what someone is saying, exactly where and when something is happening, Twitter is the best social media to get it. It's way faster than any news organization because it's got no standards.
It should be like great for earthquakes.
Right, exactly. It is great for earthquakes. And so it is. So I'll just make my quick point. Twitter is like critically built into the business models of like come on, Sochi, of the scrappiest and most modern news organizations. Come on. So I wonder. So they are actually having trouble not being on Twitter. A lot of them. So I wonder about that.
So I want to show you this thing.
Okie dokie.
So I just want to say this. I think we both agree. Like, however you want to look at the Titan implosion, it's a tragedy. It's especially for that kid. I don't think I have no Schadenfreude about these people dying.
No, me neither.
You know, and I think there have been a lot of jokes and things. So here's a post that I saw on TikTok Cringe, which is a subreddit, which I thought was interesting, and I want to show you guys. So let me do that here.
So that was a big
disclaimer. Making jokes about the submarine that's making you a little upset. I want you to know that you should be upset. You should be upset, but I don't want you to stop there. I don't want you to stop at being upset that there are some folks that are laughing at another human being's despair. I want you now to ask the next question, right? Don't get intellectually lazy now. Ask the next question. What could have possibly happened in these last 100 years to create a condition where millions of working class people have almost no empathy for a billionaire in despair? What could have happened? It can't just be that poor people are just angry and jealous. Like, don't get intellectually lazy now. You ask the question, go all the way, figure the whole thing out. Where could this lack of empathy come from? Could it be that poor and middle class, lower class people see the wealth that their labor creates being profiteered on at near oligarchy levels? So much so that they themselves are paywalled from the very things that their labor is supposed to provide them, like healthcare, like education, like access to education.
How much
Their
longer?
living conditions are being commodified to such an extreme level that they don't even know if they can live in the places that they grew up in.
Got another minute. What's the problem?
It's
finish.
fine. I get it. I don't want another minute of this guy.
I want to let it finish. So let it finish, please. Thank you.
All of this is happening at the hands of millionaires and billionaires that are taking too much from what they're not creating. Could it be that?
Could I have another minute of this, please?
Pandemic and watched millionaires and billionaires.
Could you have another minute?
It's like, what else could he possibly say that's new in another minute?
Can you?
Sorry. Go ahead. Fine. Go.
Why must you do this?
Because he's preachy, and that's not what I want to do with our people. They can go watch him on a different tab. I don't necessarily want to broadcast that. I mean, I don't think he's wrong, but necessarily, but I think he's magnanimous and strident, and it's not what I want to do here.
Okay. Well, it's 45 seconds left.
Earning calls brag about raising the prices of basic goods to rake in record profits when we needed them the most. You're seeing these jokes online and you think that people are not nice, but the truth is people are not dumb. Large corporation CEOs and billionaires fight tooth and nail. They hire lobbyists after lawyer after politician to make sure that the minimum wage stays exactly where it is as these large corporations grow exponentially inside based off of the labor of the people that they refuse to pay a living wage. You are never going to find empathy out of those people.
Okay, it's done now. I thought it was interesting. Go ahead and say what you have to say.
I'm bored of that argument. It's been around for 100 years.
You're bored of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am tired of both sides. I'm so just like fucking have a new idea. Have a fucking new idea.
What's the new idea?
Yay, you've read Karl Marx. Karl Marx was a genius. Karl Marx was a genius a long time ago. And all we can do is say over and over again the value of the work and but humans are the breadth of political thought in the United States is so fucking narrow compared to what it could be. And I do not feel compelled ever to broadcast another Marxist or another fucking Ayn Rand or another of any side, because all people are doing is finding ways to be righteous and strident and virtue signaling, and let's have a new goddamn idea, please. That is my thought.
Okay. And
I'm sorry. I just it's really hard to explain how grating that is.
Why do you find that grating? It's an opinion, like anybody else's opinion.
It's not the opinion that's grating. I mean,
What's
aside from the fact that
it's the delivery,
boring and old. Yeah, it's the absolute and total righteousness. And I hear it from everyone all the time. I mean, except you. You're kind of righteous about like your fucking anti-math.
You know what's funny about our relationship?
What? Mofo.
No, I'm telling the people.
Oh.
So like when Andrea and I first got together, you see how my office is behind me here. It's a bit shambolic. And when we first got together, it's shambles. It's a mess.
Oh, I thought it was Shambhala.
It's a yeah, okay. And so I always think this is funny because I think, originally, like in the first part of the relationship, and this probably happens in anybody's relationship.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, you're, this is kind of like your mind. It's so cool. There's just so much stuff everywhere. And then a few years into it, I always say this because I think it's funny. It's like, could you get the fucking, Mac? Can you get the fucking Apple Lisa out of the kitchen? You know what I mean? Like, because it's
off
just
the kitchen floor.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Which I totally understand, and I think it's funny. I always think it's funny. Like, and I'm saying this because, did I mention we have audio clues? I hate taping on the phone. I make more mistakes. Oh, I guess he's talking about their show.
Yeah, Jep Nerdy.
Oh, Jep Nerdy. Here. All right, hold on. Let me put that up. It's funny to me that, like, the way that there are a number of things that are happening here. One is that you like to go like this.
You're like you're so far down your own rabbit hole.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this. I wanted to show that thing. Instead of just letting me show it, you were very disrespectful. You talked over it. You kept saying things. You kept pointing. And maybe you think that that's exciting and interesting.
No.
I don't know if it is. I find it really annoying.
I did not do that to be exciting and interesting. Don't accuse me of that.
Because don't accuse me of being exciting and interesting.
Or even trying.
No, but my point is, I was really... I mean, you could have listened. No, just you could have shut the fuck up for 2 minutes and let it do its thing, and then we could talk about it instead of being like, either we're doing this together and it's equal, or it's not. And if it's not, then let's decide it's not. And if it is, this is the real thing right here. This is us talking, right? And like,
when do I get to
I
respond?
asked you in a second when I'm done. Like I just don't. It really annoys me, and it's funny because it's a thing you do to trip me up, to just like throw shit out there randomly, whether or not you're thinking of it that way, it doesn't matter. But like, I'm going in a direction, I'm talking about shit, and then you're like, and like it's annoying. And I don't do that to you. What I do that annoys you is you feel like I'm not paying attention to you.
Right now, you keep like you don't let me respond.
Because I'm not
you
done.
go on and on. Now you have like 8 points that I haven't gotten to respond
to it. I'll shut up. Here, I'll mute myself. Go ahead.
No, I don't. You don't need to mute yourself. I don't think you're going to interrupt me. I didn't break in to be interesting or anything like that. There's no gimmick here beyond being on at all. I think it's disrespectful to go play 2 minutes of 2 whole minutes of like strident, like political commentary of the kind that I have spent years trying to reconceive of politics exactly because what he did does nothing and actually, oh my God, I just drooled or spit or something, and actually makes things worse. And like you just went and played that for 2 minutes when he is available to everyone on the same medium. Like it's just, I think if you want to have an equal, if you want to call it equal, you have to take into account my feelings about it and not just drop it on there. And then when I say I don't want it, keep going.
First of all, you keep talking about 2 minutes.
And whatever, how long was it?
No, my point is, who gives a shit if it's 2 minutes? It's not 10 minutes. It's not 5 minutes.
That is so beside the point, and you know that 2 minutes is an eternity.
If I felt like it was an eternity, I wouldn't have shown it.
You are not fighting you are not being you're being disingenuous. You're picking little pieces of ephemera around the point. You can't claim that I'm being disrespectful when you, I mean, I guess maybe we need to have some
counseling.
Been there, done that, didn't work.
Yeah.
No, I think
maybe it did work.
I think I really didn't want to play it, and you really didn't want to have it shut down.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, I wanted to play it. That should be enough, right? Like, I've decided that it was, for whatever reason, it was important to me to play. And you ran roughshod all over that, being like, and I'm like, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's appropriate. I mean, it's clear to me you didn't like it, and I understand you didn't like it, and I kind of understand why you didn't like it, but like, so what? I decided in that moment I wanted people to see that and to talk about it. And you have to see something and let the thing happen so you can talk about it.
Okay. Yes, I agree with all of that. I don't believe you get to say that I'm the one shutting down a partnership when you, and then in the next breath say, the only thing that matters is that I wanted to play it.
Is that what I said? Did I say the only thing that matters is, my point is, if you had
I wanted to play it and that was enough.
Right. Because if you had wanted to play something, I wouldn't be like, no, stop. This is bullshit. Unless, I don't know, that's a thing we're doing. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to play a 2-minute thing, I would never be like, so this is stop. Hey. I would never do that. Never in my whole fucking life would I do that. We're different people. I understand that. It's totally fine that we're different people. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't treat you the way you treated me.
I'm just kidding.
You son of a bitch! That was fucking hilarious.
You are all weirdos. Ugh.
I swear to God, the best part is him going, ugh, at the end.
You are all weirdos. Ugh.
I think it would have helped to have a little bit more context at the beginning instead of it going like subs, death, millionaires, marks. You know, poor people, victims forever,
What does
hate
this
rich.
sound like? Hold on. This.
Like, I think, let me just make it. Can I just make it?
Yes, absolutely.
Then we're done. In the future, if you're going to, I totally agree that you have to play it to have the conversation and for everybody to be in the conversation. But in the future, either you could warn me, this is really political, you're probably going to hate it. That would have gone a long way. Or, I don't know what we think. I don't know. I just think he was too emotional for me.
Okay.
And he annoyed the shit out of me. Anyway, okay.
What? No, it's funny because you reminded me of something that I'm trying to find. Here, talk for a second because I got to find this because it lines up so beautifully with what you were doing. Where you're saying this, and that, and the other thing, and there's something that's almost exactly like it. So hold on a second.
Yes, I am down my own rabbit hole. Professor Brainy Speck says, "Wait, rabbit hole? Oh no, I can't be like Cinnabon Bunny." I like it. Where is he? Germ says, "Don't go down the rabbit hole, Brainy, or you end up like Dejan Cinnabon." Okay, Speck says, "Counselor Troy, please report to Andrea Seabrook's channel." Oh my God, no! I'm not. No space porn here on this channel. What the? Oh, Brainy, were you saying what the to the video? I interrupted with that. I thought
I'm not going to play this. I'm not going to play this whole thing. Well, I'll say that now at the outset so that it's not an issue. But hang on.
Look, Germ said though they're divorced. I'd never guess.
But this is good. This is real, right? Okay, so hold on. Here, I want you to see this. I won't play the whole thing. This is from a group called the Evolution Control Committee, and it stars Dan Rather. And the reason I'm playing it is because they do this thing that sounded exactly like you, and that's where I was like, I. So here, listen to this.
This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. Danger, war, killer, fraud, CIA, mayhem, crisis, horrible, inflation, military threat, the flaming debris, fatal heart attack, stress injuries, prison disaster.
You get it. It was the beginning part that was exactly like what you were saying to me.
Ah, yes.
That's
I think I've seen that before.
It's great.
You should play the theme song to Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah?
Yeah, because that is like news. That's real. I think they got the guys who, those Jib Jab people. It wasn't them, but it was another like little YouTube production house that did a bunch of like Auto-Tune the News. I think it was called Auto-Tune the News.
Yeah, I think it is too.
And they got those guys to do the theme song for Kimmy Schmidt.
Really? That's pretty great. Okay, here. All right, here. Yeah, that's great.
So yeah, for people who haven't seen it, that they are breaking out of it. They had a culty thing and were living underground, and they break out, and the neighbor sees them. It's just like those, the neighbor, like 8 people come out of a house that have been in the basement for like 20 years or whatever, under the influence of some horrible person. I think Auto-Tune the News actually did one of those news stories. It's like a tough thing to do. Going back to the sub, it's tough to be sensitive and
funny
and interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, God, that whole. I mean, like, I that's the thing. I mean,
did you read the New Yorker article
about the sub?
Yeah.
No. What did it say?
So Ben Taub, is that his name? Went around the world with a bunch of like submersible engineers, like the top cream of the crop submersible engineer people, in 2020, I think. So he knows, like, this New Yorker writer knows all these people and had all the context, and they published a story this weekend about what the actual community thought of this guy. What's a hoozy? Ocean Gate guy.
Whatever his name is, doesn't matter. His name is like Rock Hardman or something.
Yeah, it's like porn name. Preston. Yeah. Sorry, that's
Preston
totally.
Yankee.
It's fascinating though, because like I was really interested in the carbon fiber stuff at the beginning because material science is cool, right? And it's like carbon fiber is incredibly strong and brittle at the
And
same
not
time.
compressible, yeah.
Right. But these guys, like what this story does in the New Yorker is talk about sort of the global, it's like a tiny community, but it's a global community of classification of like deep water submarines and ROVs and stuff, remote operated vehicles and stuff. And like, I don't know, I just really got a whole different picture of the thing. Let me see, maybe I'll pull it up now that I'm on my laptop, which, by the way, has 14%. Anyway, you were saying something about going back to the sub story.
Well, I was like I was saying before. I just think I was seeing a lot of people making fun of it, and I understand, and I thought I liked the fact that this guy was trying to codify why a lot of what are we looking at?
The top of my laptop. There was somebody trying to talk to me.
I think it's. I think we lose our humanity if we just have Schadenfreude about something that fucking awful. In the sense that, rich people spending more money than most of us will ever see in one place to do something for a few hours that's ultimately going to get them killed. They had the money, they did it, whatever. It sucks to die that way. I feel bad for them, and at the same time there's something disgusting about the whole concept.
Yeah, I don't know. You remember after 9/11? Oh shit.
What's wrong?
Oh, I'm accidentally looking at YouTube. After 9/11, do you remember we were both working at NPR, and we were commuting from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Right, down to DC every day. And there were a bunch of overpasses on 295 that somebody had stuffed like newspaper and red, plastic cups
Yeah.
and to say like USA, and
yeah,
it was that crazy time of like.
Oh, and there was the crane holding the flag, right?
Yeah, like
flag.
national, like the strange national unity that you're not used to ever feeling when you're a journalist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one day, and like there were all these news stories like, will comedy ever happen again? You know what I mean?
Well, can I pause you for 1 second too? Because I just mentioned this, just the amount of goodwill that the U.S. had right following that. And like even in Iran, they were having candlelight vigils, because people felt terrible about this. Go on.
Okay, but the thing that I felt, there was like one day where I was driving home and somebody had rearranged the stuffed newspaper in the overpass to say ass. And I was like, it was such a relief.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, thank God we can be our stupid ass selves again.
Right.
So that's one little point. The only thing I want to say about class warfare. Or really, it's not class warfare. It's totally true that we have a radical split between rich people and everybody else in this country. But it does nobody any good to talk about it as if, the victims had no, the victims are just victims.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, you can understand why they would laugh at someone else's tragedy. It just doesn't, it's the worst kind of outlet for that energy, because the reason we have this incredible split is because we made the system work that way. It's on purpose, and we can change it.
Mm-hmm. Is this where you start talking about your political party?
Well, I could, but I'm not going to right now. For all of the ones out there, equaling 5 right now, and actually it's probably
3.
3. For all 3 of the people in the audience, I have a little political party called the Damn Fine Party, which tries to completely reframe political and policy decisions outside of the bullshit left right divide that we've created and in this country. For example, you could happily in the Damn Fine Party be socially left and fiscally right. You could do that if you wanted to. And that's just a small public service announcement from Andrea Seabrook of the Damn Fine Party. I'll post a link to the Discord server, which is the entirety of its infrastructure right now.
Kind of start.
Okay, and I got to say one thing, because whenever I talk about this, people are like, "You want to start a third party? How do you do that? You want a parliamentary system?" And so I feel I must remind everybody that starting another party is a natural and quite familiar thing to do within our democracy. And no, they don't, mister. I will tell you, Mr. Germ, that the libertarians do not cover that part of the political spectrum. I do not agree. Libertarians are sort of like liberals with guns. All they do is fight within themselves.
Hey, do that quote.
Yeah, Kim Stanley Robinson, who, the amazing writer, he wrote Red Mars, Green Mars, Blue Mars, and most recently the Ministry for the Future, and he's brilliant. We shouldn't do this now because,
Okay.
Hail Trash Canistan! Yay! Kim Stanley Robinson's quote, it's not actually his, it's one of his characters in Blue Mars, Green Mars. He says, that's libertarians for you, anarchists who want police protection from their slaves. It's so true. If you just peek, okay. We don't have to talk about politics, but the point is, sorry about that, Joseph. The point is, it's not weird to start a new political party. Political parties do not need to be third parties necessarily. The United States is due for a major shift. We've been fighting about the same fucking thing since the middle of the 20th century, communism versus capitalism, and the world is so much bigger than that. And I don't, nobody I would have to explain to you how political parties start. It's not starting a parliamentary system. That would require a different constitution. Starting a new party is just a new organization around ideas. And this is the last thing I'll say. The Republican Party was conceived of in 1860? No, 1860. 1865. It's just the end of Civil War, right? No, 1860. 1860. Hold on. Let me get my facts here. Let me get some facts. Um, the 1854. Okay. Conceived of and started in 1854, and it had the House, the Senate, and the White House by 1860. 6 years. The traditional, I mean, the United States hasn't been around very long, but it seems like it's pretty common that we have major reorganizations about every 75 to 100 years. And I think everybody here would probably agree with me that we've been trying to have a reorganization because nobody's happy for probably since, Ross Perot. And it just hasn't quite worked. That doesn't mean the Damn Fine Party is a third party pitch. It's not even like that. Maybe we should do a whole show where Andrea talks about her political party. It's not mine either. It's distributed. I'm stopping now. Okay. Joseph says, Andrea, to me, the U.S. politics is a sitcom with teeth, a farce, eternal dumpster fire, and a crossover between Sharknado and Fast and Furious. Yes. Agreed. You and I think, I don't know where Germ is. I can't remember where Germ is. But I think of the ones of us out there, you and I I think just being outside the country makes it easy. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what it's just, you can criticize it without joining a side in a way. Karl Popper.
Everybody get your Karl Poppers ready.
And everybody, by starting a political party, I mean conceiving of a lot of ideas and occasionally babbling about them and starting a Discord server and making a lot of plans. But I'm not running for anything. I'm not an idiot.
All right. Should we talk about France a little bit? We should wrap it up soon, I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to get the link to the Damn Fine Party Discord server.
So France has been a little crazy the past few days.
France is fucked up.
Yeah. So have you seen the video? So I don't know why they pulled this kid over, and I don't know if the car that I've heard the car he was in was stolen. I don't know if that's true, but what I have seen is that they are talking to the kid, and the kid pulls away, and as the kid's pulling away, they fire. It's so weird because here in the United States, I think that a cop would empty his entire clip into somebody, and in France it was one single shot, which just struck me as unusual. I don't know why, but for the reasons I stated already. But the kid pulls off. As he's pulling off, he gets shot. It didn't appear to me from where I was that the kid was trying to run.
You were in France?
No. From the perspective of the camera, it doesn't appear that the kid was trying to run the cop over, because they seem to be, here's the car, here are the cops, the car goes away. So it's not like they were like this. So it doesn't look that way. That's something that the cops claimed, but it happens very quickly. And then I guess the kid is shot and keeps driving until he crashes into something because he's lost consciousness at that point or something. There's a tremendous amount of propaganda on both sides about this. People are trying to use this to great advantage. There are a lot of organizations on the right that are saying things along the lines of, oh, let's look at what's going on in fascist Poland, where they haven't allowed any immigrants in. And of course, Poland nothing's happening in Poland, whereas everywhere else things are happening. There's a lot
I
of,
love Poland.
you know. Did you say you love Poland?
I do. I really
Anyway,
like Poland.
have you followed
It's
any
one
of
of my
this?
favorite places in Europe.
I forgot you were there. Weren't you there in a German Marshall Fund fellowship?
Yeah, and I did it later. I went on a Fulbright thing. You know, Poland has such good food. I just love Polish food.
Did you ever make it to Hungary?
And it's not fascist.
I'm not saying it's fascist. I'm saying that people are saying that it's fascist, and they're like, look how fascist we are. We don't have people rioting in the streets. That's what they're.
Yeah. Can you? I got so lost in like the details that you were giving, and then thinking about the fact that you can't say you saw anything because you saw the camera. Anyway, whatever. Can you just say, like, the kid got shot? What happened?
So, okay, in the
Just
video
like-
that I saw, there's a car here. There are two cops here. The car starts pulling away, and a single shot is fired.
Okay.
And then the car, you don't see it, but you see the car's crashed into something later. That's
And the kid
that's what I
died.
saw. And the kid died. And as a result of the kid dying, at least allegedly, as a result of the kid dying, there have been I don't know, like a week of riots at this point. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it's, I mean, and there are a lot of actually interesting images where people are literally just like having, there's one, I've seen one where a person's sitting on the other side of some sort of, monument, eating their lunch, while there are a bunch of protesters on one side and a bunch of police on the other, and a fire in the distance. So there are a lot of interesting photos of people basically, or in some videos of people just basically going about their day while this stuff's happening around them. But then there are also there's a coordinated effort to make it look like, quote, France is falling. I don't believe France is falling, but that's a narrative that's being pushed on Twitter, especially.
France is such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in Germany, was doing like some interviewing government people and so on, you could be like a third generation Turkish, in a Turkish family, and be in Germany and not have citizenship, because citizenship was still based on, like, to some extent, your ancestry, which is a nice way of saying race. It was still based on that a little bit. I think they changed that in like 2004, maybe something like that. And it was about the same time that France was banning headscarves in schools. And it's like, this is not going to be a popular opinion, but the way people romanticize French sort of hardline about language and education and dress, and this reminds me of the way people romanticize, like, the Amish. When you start demanding social behaviors, right, to make the majority comfortable, that's when I emigrate. It's like, it's authoritarianism. At the same time that France is not, authoritarian. Joseph was saying, once you are born in Germany, you get the German citizenship. That wasn't true until fairly recently. That's what I'm saying.
It's true here.
Yeah, it's true here, but we're not used to mixing racial identity with national citizenship. Costa Rica, people in Mexico, like Mexican as as like a cultural identity, and Mexican as a national identity. And Europe is sort of, we do have someone from Europe here, Joseph, in Europe, in fact, and probably more. But like there's more. It's like when people in England were incensed when is it the prime minister? Somebody named the national, established the national dish of England as like chicken curry or something. People were really pissed off. That's not English, right? Yeah, you are between. So Joseph is between Poland and Hungary. Well, Chris here. Anyway, just to finish my point, some of the most. Joseph, back me up here. I think you will. Europe is seriously racist. Not in the Europeans are like. I once talked to this woman who was like, "Oh no. It's older one. Not going to that resort. There are too many Finns." Like everybody thinks the Finnish are weird, and the French are stuck up, and the British, are like disheveled and apologize on their teeth, and Eastern Europeans or whatever. They do it in a totally different way than Americans do it. They don't. You don't have like the. Oh my God! The dog's having puppies.
Okay, we should probably end this.
You don't have the hundreds of years of purposeful, intentional genocide in your racism. I mean, anyway, I think my point is the French they deployed 45,000 police officers. 45,000 police officers. And the average age of the protesters is 17. And the interior minister is calling them thugs. Oh yeah, I know that France and the UK are. That's why you can't ban headscarves. You can't decide that is not your national identity. But then again, I'm an American, so anybody want to see a newly born puppy?
Look at all those rocks.
They rock. Yeah, I'm sure she did. Don't no, Sochi. No. Hold on, there's a no, Sochi. Just a minute. Yeah. There we go. Good girl. No. Sorry, my other dog is desperately trying to get in.
You took the wrong one out.
I sure did. Let's see. Puppies. Hold on.
Can I use your phone flashlight?
Yeah, go ahead. It's on. Let's see, what do we got going on in here? Hi, girlfriend. Hello, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. It's okay, baby.
Just look at the phone to see how many there are.
Yeah, be careful.
I think I need to get off the.
Yeah, let's stop this
computer.
Concentrate, but good work, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna go. Birth and all.
Bye.
Bye.